everybody. Today my speech is Take Your Body Back. It's about why women should not breastfeed their baby after birth. When you first think of having babies as a woman or the male partner, whether you're adopting, you hear the term breast is best. By saying that, we oftentimes give families the idea that when they're choosing not to breastfeed their child, your baby's being cheated, that you're not giving them the right things. But you have to remember, as the mom and the parent, you're important too. It's not just about the child. I mean, a lot of it is, but you're also important. And breastfeeding is harder than it looks when it comes to feeding the baby on the mom and the dad and the family and siblings involved. So breastfeeding is not always what's best for you and the baby. Um, and so by saying that, your baby isn't being cheated. Um, it can be easier for the baby when you choose not to breastfeed. You have the bottle there, you have the formula. It's not supply and demand. If they're hungry and you're breastfeeding, they're going to have to work harder for the milk. Your milk is supply and demand. It's not, here, let me put in a little more formula. You have to work harder, and the next feeding, my breast will know to make more. And according to Kuttner in 2008, they're still getting the required foods, the food, minerals, vitamins, calories that they need to grow. And that by that, I mean, formula companies have to meet a standard from the FDA and several different organizations to be able to supply that milk. Your baby's being allowed to spend time with other family members when you choose to not breastfeed. You're letting them feed the baby, spend more time with them, hold them. They don't just want you to comfort them. So by taking care of your baby in that way, who's really taking care of the moms? Because, like I said, you're important too. You just spent 9 months growing that baby. You had 9 months of restrictions, gaining weight. According to Wilson in 2005, when you choose to breastfeed, you have to restrict your diet. Many mothers find that they can't eat certain foods, spicy foods. It makes their baby gassy. It gives them diarrhea. You can't take certain medications. There's actually a bunch of medications you can't take because they can be transferred into from your breast milk into the baby and have side effects. You can't, if you want to have a girls' night, you can't drink alcohol, and if you do, you have to pump that breast milk out and you have to dump it and throw it away. It's not good for the baby. It can harm the baby. They recommend you don't drink caffeine. There's so much that you're not supposed to do, and you're not supposed to intake. If you smoke, if you choose to do extracurricular activities, drugs, hopefully you're not. But if you choose to, you can't do that. It's going to definitely harm the baby. And according to Brott in 2001, when you choose to not breastfeed, you can relax. You can let dads take care of the babies. They get to feed the baby, take care of the baby, bond with them while you relax. But oftentimes when you hear the word relax, many parents think, well, women get to sit down and breastfeed. They don't have to stand up. They don't have to work. So you're relaxing. But how easy is it to breastfeed? The breastfeeding is a lot harder than it looks. At the beginning, for the first 3 months, according to Hill in 1994, your nipples can dry out. They'll crack, and by cracking, they'll begin to bleed. Oftentimes, women have to put ointment on them. It can lead to infections because they're bleeding, constantly being suckled on. Your breasts can get engorged from breast milk. Let's say your baby's not as hungry as they were the day before, and your breasts have all this extra milk. They're swollen, and by your milk ducts getting clogged, it can cause mastitis, which is a terrible, horrible, painful thing. Also, according to the Mayo Clinic in their vaginal dryness article in 2012, breastfeeding is going to affect your sex life. By breastfeeding, your estrogen levels are lowered, and by that, you're causing your vagina to dry out. There's not as much going on down there. So when you have intercourse, it begins to hurt you and your partner. It can cause tearing. It's just not fun. So since people so much emphasis on breast is best for your baby, they need to take more consideration into what's best for you and what's best for the family. By choosing not to breastfeed and get back to work, you can help society. By doing your part is working. You're helping the economy by choosing not to breastfeed. You're giving people jobs by the formula, by the lab making to make sure, they're doing their best to give your baby the best. So by hearing breast is best, it's not always best for the child or the family setting. Take your boobs back. Be the mom you want to be without having all these restrictions. And that's all.